Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, Perfection Baking. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? If anyone is in the live, can you hear me? If anyone is in the live. Okay, I had to check it for myself. Hey, Tamika. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, Bayou Sugar. Hello. Yes, you can hear me. Thank you very much. I haven't gone live in probably since December. Thank you, Sugar. Hello, Lars Garten. Welcome in. So we are going to talk some herbs tonight, and we're going to talk. Hello, Bougie Prepper. Welcome in. Happy Friday. It has been quite a while. So it took me a little time to try to figure out what I was doing because I haven't done it in so long and I already wasn't that good at it. So, hi, G Mama. Welcome in. CC, welcome in. I did drop the link just in case someone had to come in because I don't think my hey Tampa, I don't think my mods are going to be here. So I'm going to drop this link again. Hello, PIA, welcome in. Hello, Bama Arthur. Oh, there we go. So if anyone wants to come up, you can. So we're going to wait just a few more minutes. Hello, Coffee First Then Speak. Welcome in. Okay, so we're going to talk about kitchen herbs. And the one thing about kitchen herbs is you should already know if you are allergic to them because you eat. So I'm talking about all the cilantros, the fennels, the basil, the parsley. Hello, Jags, welcome in. Hello, Anna Marie, welcome in. So, and I know a lot of new gardeners, they always ask the question, what shall I grow? And the answer is always, what do you and your family eat? But you should also research herbs because herbs can be used as medicine. I'm not a doctor. I want you to research this for yourself and you will learn the benefits of herbs, plain old kitchen herbs. Nothing wild, things that you are already using every day. A lot of people don't utilize these for anything but cooking, but you can use them as tea. So this is the opportunity for you, if you are a new gardener and you're trying to decide what you want in your garden, then after you research these herbs, then that will also help you to decide that you also want herbs and what type of herbs you want in your garden. Hello, Sammy Joe. Diversity, I'm going to speak to you again because I don't know if you was in the room when I know your name was up there, but I don't know if you heard me speak to you. You might have stepped away. So I do want to speak to you again just in case you did not hear me. And hello, DJ Play Nice. Okay, so a lot of you all know, because a lot of you all were praying for me, sending me message. I was sick I'm still not all the way back, but I was sick like the week after Christmas. I started feeling bad. And it just got progressively worse. And then, and I kind of thought I knew what it was. So I was just trying to treat myself because it's something that normally happens to me. But then it wouldn't get better. So then I said, okay, so you need to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor and he didn't know. And I was already prepared for that. So I had already had a list of referrals that I wanted him to give me before I left because I knew that I would be going to see someone beside. And that was my first time ever seeing him. He's a new doctor. And so he just did not know. He did a few tests, make sure I didn't have I don't know why I can't never think of that word. That cancer in the stomach that people always get, and it's kind of hard. It's very rare that they cure it. But it was that he did test me for that because he thought that just by me telling him how I was feeling, that he just wanted to rule that out. So, okay, so he gave me all these referrals. And so, of course, they weren't soon. So I had to wait until it was time for me to see these doctors. And in the meantime, I'm getting worse. I'm feeling worse and worse. I mean, I'm feeling so bad to the point where I would literally get up and go unlock my door because I knew that my family would be calling to check on me. And if they did not answer, they would continue to call. And if they still didn't answer, I knew they would be coming over. And I knew that they've all lost their keys. So I knew they wouldn't be able to get in. So I would get up and unlock the door because I was for sure that they was going to come over and find me blue. That's how bad I was feeling. Welcome in, G Hud. Welcome in, Albert. Thank you all for coming. Welcome in, Urban Garden Chronicles. Shiny 2003. Welcome in. So yeah, that's how bad I was feeling while I'm waiting to see doctors. And the one particular doctor that I knew, because like I said, I pretty much had an idea what was going on with me. So I knew I wanted to see him first and foremost. But they would not allow me to see him because I had not been to him in 6 years. Well, I had not been to him in 6 years because I was doing fine. I didn't need to see him. He didn't request to see me. I didn't request to see him. But because I had not been there, so now I'm a new patient. So they gave me a 6-month appointment. As bad as I was feeling, as sick as I was. I saw hi, I'm biased. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. So in the meantime, other things was happening. For the record, I just like to, every time I think of something, I want to throw it out there because a lot of people may not know certain things. If you have GI issues, your GI system and your upper respiratory system is connected. I had to find that out on my own because I noticed years ago, yeah, 6 months. And I was only feeling, I mean, I walked the floors at night crying. That's how sick I was. I'm telling you, I thought I was going to go, and trust me, I was ready because that's how miserable I was. Hello, Mike. Welcome in. So, years ago, I would, go to the doctor and I would say, every time my GI is upset, then something, my respiratory system is upset. I said, well, there's a connection. Is there a connection? And they would just kind of look at me like, then they would go, no. And you all, I might disappear for good tonight. I don't know. 3 times a day for some reason. Ever since our T-Mobile went out and a lot of other stuff went out, our stuff go out at least 3 times a day. So I might just disappear into the ozone somewhere. I don't know, but it keeps happening every day, all day. So I'm going to try to get this in. Welcome in, F. Smith Welch. Thank you for coming. And so I just want you all to know. So what I did is I researched it, and it took a while. I could not find anything that would say that the GI was connected to the upper respiratory system. Then I finally found a study, and they did, and they do. So not only was my GI jacked up, my upper respiratory was jacked up. And because of whoever is controlling the weather these days, my allergies was the worst they had ever been in the wintertime. Now I do have 4 season allergies. I have allergies all year round. Usually summer is the worst. This was the first time the winter was the worst. So of course, my upper GI and my upper respiratory was out of control. Both of them was just trying to take me out of here. I was wheezing. I could not breathe. It was horrible. So anyway, um, I just want to let you all know it just in case you think you tripping. In case you have realized that both of those things, bother you at the same time. I still have a little cough. I may start coughing. I probably need to know how to mute this thing. Hello, Milk and Honey. Wellness with Frugal Mama. The link is in there in case anybody wants to come in. If you do, I've dropped it twice. I can drop it again if anyone wants to come in. But we're going to get back to these herbs. Okay, so what I did for almost 4 months of being sick, 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 sick. And so herbs. I have environmental allergies. Oh, you too. Then you know. Hi, Gina. Welcome in. So I mean, I've always said I'm a herbal girl, right? I have never consumed so many herbs in my life. What herbs? Kitchen herbs. I knew which herbs was for upper GI. I knew which herbs was for respiratory. So I had to alternate these herbs all day, every day, just to get relief. It did not take it away, but at least it gave me a chance to breathe, because it was just horrible. So I got a chance to just relax because the herbs. That's why I tell you, research these herbs. You may want to grow them in your garden. If you don't, you may want to add more because that is my goal. I am grateful that I grew so many herbs because I totally utilized them. So it was so bad to the point where, hello, Felicia, welcome in, to the point where I thought I had cancer. So I asked for cancer tests. So I went to see the doctor, and she just could not believe that I had been going through this for this long. She said it did not make no sense. If that doctor had been my doctor in the past, they should have made provisions. I absolutely agree. She just could not believe it. Excuse me. So she um, ordered all these tests, and I waited for them to come back. And this is like 3 months in. This is 3 months in because, like I said, she was one of the ones that I had asked for a referral for. I asked referral for 4 different doctors. And like I said, I was not mad at the fact that that doctor did not know what was wrong with me because he is not a specialist. I wanted to see specialists because like I said, I pretty much thought I knew what was wrong with me. But generally, it gets controlled with medicine, and it was not getting controlled, which is why my brain went to, oh my God, could it be cancer? What could it be? Hello, Lady Dagger Status. Welcome in. Oh my God, I keep wanting to cough. What is going on? So anyway, research your herbs, your kitchen herbs, because that is how I got through. Okay, so I also want to talk about, I have a friend who has high blood pressure. I have worked so hard to help try to control her blood pressure. I am to the point, and I've been telling her this for a while, that I believe it's all the medication. Medications will cause issue. And just about, if you know anything about being on medicine, every medicine that you take, whatever you are taking it for, it can also cause that. So if you're taking hypertension medicine, it can cause hypertension. I have GI medicine that I take. It can cause GI issues. So what I do is, which is not very helpful, I did make her oxymel for hypertension. Excuse me. I have been testing myself with different herbs, and it works wonderful for me. But that's not very helpful because I don't have hypertension. So what it does lower my blood pressure lower than normal. My normal is like 125, over maybe 72 or 75. I was testing myself with the herbs just so I'm doing this for her, and they would work for me. I what I would do was, and I would be talking to her. I said, okay, I'm getting ready to take my blood pressure. I take it, send her a screenshot of it, and I would go in the kitchen. And some of my herbs are very deep, and some of them I can reach. And so I said, okay, well, as I find things, I'll let you know. And she would type them. She types up everything I say and sends it to me because I be just, I can't do both. So well, she's very good about that. So I said, okay, I found this and I found that and I found this. So she typed it all up and sent it to me. So this particular day, I used ginger, thyme, celery. You were supposed to use celery seeds. Hello, J.K. Gardner. Welcome in. David Gray, welcome in. I might have missed someone. If I did, I'm sure my mods will welcome you in. I appreciate you coming. So I drank basil. I said that Ceylon cinnamon, not regular everyday cinnamon. That's good for baking your desserts, but that is not for long term. It becomes toxic. Okay? Ceylon, Ceylon. That is safe. Okay? I threw in moringa and I threw in basil. So I was working around the house and she said, "Did you take your blood pressure yet?" I said, "Oh no, let me go take it." So because I told her I wanted to take it in an hour, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. I went in there. I think the blood pressure started off at 115, 117, like that. It took it down to 100. And so she was so excited, but I'm like, this, I already have low, I mean, I already have normal blood pressure. This is still not working for you because she tries the things that I tell her to do, and it's just not working for her. But so I believe it's, and it's not, maybe not her blood pressure medication, but it's probably one of her medications or a combination of her medications. And I told her, talk to your doctor about this because you didn't have high blood pressure before you were put on these medications. And now you do. So that it, and it's more, it's other herbs for high blood pressure. You just need to research them, make a list, get you a book and start journaling the things you need and what you can use them for. All the herbs, all the kitchen herbs. And like I said, if you are allergic to kitchen herbs, you should already know that by now because you've been eating all your life. So you ought to know what you can and cannot take at this point. So I was very comfortable with taking the herbs that I grew in my garden, and I grew a lot. At least it seemed like a lot because I had these big old giant baggies. But the fact that I have consumed a lot of my own herbs, I know this year I have to double up because, like I said, when I was sick, they gave me comfort. I know you have to research, know which herbs works for what, and just play around with it because it's going to give you a long list. So you don't put every last one of them in your tea. So you can play around with it. So if you use 4 or 5 this day, then you can still got a list over here with some more. So that's what I did was alternate because I was sick for 4 months. And so I know you have to take a break. You cannot take the same herbs back to back. So it's easy to play with them when you know all the herbs and what you can use them for. But I don't know how I would have got through without those herbs because the doctors was doing absolutely nothing for me. And I was so frustrated. It just gave me, I mean, I've already said, now I am from a hospital field, okay? I worked 44 years in a hospital. 22 of those years was in the intensive care. So I know what healthcare did look like. And I was so disappointed the fact that you knew how sick I was and nobody was doing anything to help me. So the doctor that ran the cancer test on me, she was outdone. She could not believe they did not try to squeeze me in. So when the results came back, which I expected them to come back lickety split, so I'm sitting on the edge waiting on these results to come back. And generally I'm used to in the past when the secretary or the assistant called you, you knew it wasn't nothing. When the doctor called, you knew it was something. So when I heard her voice, and I'm like, oh my God, she said, well, I don't know if you know or not. I almost hit the floor. And she said, but your results were normal. She said, but you were right. She said, even though they did an ultrasound for one thing, they saw on the ultrasound that what I told them 4 months back, what was wrong with me? She said, you were right. That's exactly what is wrong with you. It was all GI. And the GI doctor, which, like I said, they gave me a 6-month appointment. But they end up moving it up he opened up that day out of nowhere. And I already had an appointment for the allergist on that same day. And I said, no, I can't come. I have an appointment. Then I thought about that. I'm like, what? Girl, you crazy? Forget that allergist. You better go get go see that doctor. So I called her right back. I said, I just talked to you, because they don't answer their phone. They one of those businesses where they will call you back. And so I said, you just call me. And if you have not given that day away, please call me back. And she did call me back. And so they was able to get me in. And so I don't know, because I didn't mention anything to the doctor about I tried to get in. They wouldn't let me see you. But him just listening to what I had been through. And, he had his head down. You know how they typing. And when I'm talking about how miserable I was and what I went through, and he just kept turning and looking at me. And I didn't know it was because he was just really getting angry about it. So all of a sudden he said, I'm going to send you a email. I said, oh, they did. I just found out from one of your people. I said, but I didn't know who they are. I said, I'm so sorry, but honey, everybody scams to me. And when they sent that to me and I didn't know who they was, I deleted it. He said, no, that's us. And then he said, if you ever need me, you email me. And I kind of like, okay, but I was wondering why he had that tone. And so I said, well, I tried to get in, but they said I was a new patient. He said, well, you're not now. And I was like, oh, so that made me know that he was upset about the fact that they let me suffer that long as well. But I don't know how he knew, because I didn't say a word about it. So it might have been in my chart that I had been trying to get in there. I don't know. But yeah, and that's why I tell you all the time, advocate for yourself. Hello, Educated Natural, Hands in the Dirt. Advocate for yourself. I'm telling you, because everybody was just saying, we did this test, we don't see anything. Nobody feels that bad. Nobody feels like they're getting ready to die and there's nothing wrong. And I was absolutely just furious. But so when I saw the doctor, he asked me that I want to try Herbal, which blew me away. I was like, what? And he jumped. And I think he thought I meant that negatively. But I'm like, sure, I'm an Herbal girl. And then he laughed. And so he wanted me to try this herb, but the pharmacy was out. So I Googled this other herb. I mean, I Googled the same herb, but I could, because the first thing went to my mind, can we drop a seed for this? So I did not find a seed for it, but I showed this the other day. I found this. And so I read, and it has 4 names. He wanted me to take berberine. But when I researched berberine on Etsy, it came up under yellow root. It came up under golden seal. It came up under, I can't pronounce this other word. This XAN whatever. It also came up under this. But so then I started reading the reviews, and all the reviews were absolutely wonderful. But nobody mentioned how, because I'm seeing these sticks on the picture, and I'm like, well, what is it? How you use it? So I didn't order it right away. I waited, and I emailed him and asked him, well, what do you do with these? And he said, you break 2 or 3 up and you make a tea. That was all he gave me. So me not thinking, but first of all, I always told you all I never follow directions the very first time I'm using something. I use less. So I did not use 3, I used 2. And as I was breaking them up, the bark started coming off, which was fine with me because I cleaned them as best I can, but all I could think of was this is bark. So as it started peeling off, I went ahead and just peeled all of it off, and it's yellow. As you can see, the yellow tips. So that's the turmeric in it. So there we go. See the yellow? So I put it in the tea, but I was not thinking. I put it in a cup of tea because he didn't give me any thorough, instructions. Baby, I drank 1 ounce of that tea. First of all, I was sitting up there like, whew, I feel like I've had some type of paraphernalia. I mean, what is, I'm like, whoo, I said, I better not drink any more of that. I said, I'm feeling a little, my head is spinning. So I fell asleep. I guarantee you, somebody could have moved every ounce of items out of this house and I would have slept straight through it. I was knocked out. It was some good sleep. And it was almost like Benadryl, which is why I don't like Benadryl because it gives you that high. Well, it gives me. A lot of people can take Benadryl every single day and it does not bother them. But I be feeling high. I bump into walls. Me and Benadryl, no, we don't make it. But I saw my daughter called. I said, well, what was our conversation? She said it wasn't. When I asked you, was you sleeping? You said, I said, back, go back to sleep. And so I said, so I just told her about this stuff. I said, I don't know. I don't really want to take this anymore. But then I thought, I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I was supposed to put it in a pot of tea, not 1 cup. So then I tested that with my friend. I said, hey, this is also for high blood pressure. I said, I said, I've already diluted it. I said, and I'm going to take my blood pressure. I took my blood pressure, sent her a screenshot, and I said, now I'm going to go drink the tea. I drink the tea, taking my blood pressure again. It was 100, I think. It was 100 over 60 something. I was like, okay, this works for blood pressure, but like I said, I don't have high blood pressure. So I have some family members that I have told them about it because I want someone to try this because I'm trying to help people get off this blood pressure medicine. And so I talked to a couple of family members. I said, but the only reason why I don't want you to take it is because what you taking your blood pressure, because a lot of people take blood pressure medicine and their blood pressure is still high. I said, you take blood pressure medicine and your blood pressure is normal. I said, so I don't want you to take this because I don't want you to bottom out. And they said, oh no, but I'm trying to get off of this. So I will stop taking my blood pressure medicine just to try this. And if my blood pressure goes high, because this is somebody who diligently, I mean, they doctors so impressed with them when they go to the doctor, because when they go to the doctor, they have a book like this with everything written down because they take their glucose, blood pressure, temperature every single day, and her doctor loves it. So anyway, she said that's what she was going to do. She was going to not take her blood pressure medicine, try the tea, see how it does it, keep taking her blood pressure medicine. If it goes up, she'll take the blood pressure medicine. So, but this would be these teas that I have been drinking. Like I said, they lowered my blood pressure lower than normal. This berberine, or whatever one of these 4 names you want to call it, yellow, root, whatever, it lowered my blood pressure. So these things do work, but like I said, I don't know if it works for someone else, especially if, like I said, my friend, nothing works. I don't care what I give her to try, nothing works, which is why I'm convinced it's other medications. And you need to talk to your doctors about this because these blood pressure medicine being recalled every every year, multiple times of the year. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about is to whatever herbs you have in your garden, whatever herbs you research and you see that they could help you and your family. And if you've been keeping up with medications are being knocked off the list every day. They don't have them. People are not getting their medication because we are not, the pharmacists are not getting these medications in. I had to end up moving my medication from the W place, not the blue one, but the other one, because I kept getting, it's not in yet. It's not in yet. It's not in yet. I'm like, what if this was a life-saving medication and you constantly telling me it's not in yet? So if you have the opportunity to get off medication, honey, I pat you on the back. But you have to research and, take care of your own body. Advocate for yourself. Don't let them just tell you anything, especially nobody knows your body better than you. And I knew mine and I knew they was telling me nothing was wrong. No, absolutely not. I don't feel like this. This is not me. And so yeah, my mountain mint is doing good with all this rain. Great. And so that's another thing. The mountain mint that I told you all about that I just did the short on. That mountain mint works the same as mullein. So can you imagine with both of them together during the cold and flu season? Or if you having any lung issues, research these things. It's called the Greek mountain tea. I did a short about it. If you don't remember that name, you can check that short out where I had showed you that I had just bought another 10 packs because see, I'm not crazy enough not to try to stock up on things that I see that works because I am someone who's on medication. Not that I like it, but I know that if I'm not on this medication, I want something to replace this medication. And if I can get myself off these medications, and I've tried that, it does not quite work yet because I'm on harsh toxic medication. So it's kind of hard to just try to move them out of the way as you can, some of the other ones. But it's not like I haven't tried and I will continue to try. That's why I'm always trying to talk to an herbalist. I know somebody herbalist, I'm trying to talk to them, honey, because you know more about this than I do. And if you can show me how to get off of these medications, then I'm going to do it. But I will continue to take my herbs every day. And I did check, in case you all think I just jumped in. And number one, my doctor did recommend that first. And like I said, they did not have it in the pharmacy. So that's when I went online and started researching it. But then I wanted to know if it, so I also checked to see if it interacts with my medication. And I really didn't understand the lingo they was using. So I called the pharmacy. I literally heard him flipping through the books and he literally read me the line where it said it did not interfere with my medication. So then I felt comfortable taking it. So advocate for yourself. Don't let somebody tell you nothing is wrong with you when you clearly know you are not feeling well. Okay? Any questions? Anybody want to come up and ask a question? Hello, Joshua. Hello, One Virtuous Woman. Welcome in. Thank you all for coming. Good to have a journal. It absolutely is. And it just really hurts me that healthcare. Trimble, Secret Garden, welcome in. Sorry, you all, but I'm out there gardening every day. How many besides me just drop the seeds, but out there every day looking for some green? So get you all some books, and I do paperwork as well, because like I told you all, in the event that I do have to leave my home and I can't lug those books with me, I can roll these up and put them in my bug out bag. So I have paperwork as well as books, because I have so much up here about what works for what. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Was that for blood pressure? Was that for allergies? Or was it? Yeah. So I have to keep this paperwork with me, because this has been a long time for me studying herbs. So there's a lot up here about herbs. So I do have to have some paperwork. And they know something is way wrong. Yeah. Hello, Devil Dog Prepper. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Good evening, my Renaissance girl. Welcome in, New Orleans Garden. Thank you for coming. So, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It keeps not wanting to scroll all the way down. But anyway, if anyone have any questions about anything, like I said, welcome, Homesteader Rachel. If you interested in herbs, grow you some. And the trees as well. I have a friend, she'll call me and say, my son said he should tell me what's going on with him. He said, what leaf can he make a tea out of? I said, what tree you got? And she'll name me the tree. I said, tell him drink some raspberry tea. You got raspberry? Yeah. And might want to mix that with, and I tell him what to do. So those tree leaves, them leaves are not to be let to sit there or to be thrown out, okay? Those leaves are to be used as medicine. I know that you can't eat grapefruit with some medication. It makes the medicine stronger, the dose. Yes, absolutely. Mullen is my best friend, baby. Mullen is our best friend. Okay? I'm starting to slack up on mine just a little bit, and I had the biggest bag, whatever the biggest baggie is, about this size, I had two of them. But during the whole winter, I'm trying to keep everybody well. So I was making it by the bulk. So I use a lot of it. But that's why I need a garden. That's why I need a big garden, because I don't want to be stingy with my herbs, but I will be, okay? But I don't want to be. But hello, Mountain Grandma. Thank you for coming. Welcome in. That's what I'm definitely going to do, is find another way to get. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a list. You can literally pull up the list of the medications that have shortages. And how long is it going to be before your medicine is on that list? It can be scary for someone. Hello, microformer. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. So, I'm always. Hello, Erica Taylor. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. I'm trying to grow mountain mint. I got my fingers crossed. Oh, honey, it's coming. It is coming. Hello, Don't Hurt the Harvest. Thank you for coming. Yes, just do your research and log, make your little categories, what goes for what. And like I said, we're talking about kitchen herbs you're already using. You should already know if you're allergic to these or not. If you already know, I cook with this all the time, I'm good with it, then it's not just for food. It's for tea as well. Order you some tea bags, making sure you got some stocked up. Don't just order a little bit, because you're going to need them on down the line. Get you a lot of tea bags, because you're going to need them for those herbs. But I have been an herbal girl for a long, long time. So I would know by now if herbs do not agree with me. Now I kind of get a little leery sometimes because with me having seasonal allergies, you have to know which ones that don't work well with ragweed because I'm allergic to ragweed. And sometimes when you're doing your research, it will say if you are allergic to ragweed, do not take this. That's why you have to do your research. I cannot do elderberry. I cannot do hibiscus. Sadly, I can't do the elderberry because I really wanted to incorporate that, but I found out the hard way. But you know what? Well, no, I bet not. But let me tell you about these allergies. I've been telling you all over the past month, couple months, no, year, because I did detected this in November of 22. So I had to change my diet. I told you all I had to change my diet because I could no longer eat sunflower oil. I could no longer eat soybean oil. And so I made an appointment with the allergist. I had to wait months for that to come. So in the meantime, me and my friend was talking about it. And we was both saying, I said, well, a lot of diseases also causes itching and hives. I said, and I certainly hope that's not the reason. I said, but again, autoimmune is one of those diseases, and I do know I'm autoimmune. So could it be that? So anyway, I go to this allergist, never seen him before. I'm already uptight because I've had allergy tests before and I about lost my mind because that is the worst itching that you cannot scratch because you cannot reach your back. And I about lost my mind. So I was not looking forward to this. My blood pressure was up a little bit because I was not looking forward. And so he sat down, and I was impressed with both the doctors because, we got like drive through clinics and hospitals, but I don't know if it's because I was a new patient, but he literally just sit down and just asked me question after question after question. So when he got to the last question, he said, you know what? I don't think we should do this test on you. Now the inside of me was like, what? But I said, oh, he said, none of that you just said for the past 25 minutes has anything to do with food. And I was like, but after I eat this, I get a little itch. He said, it's internal. Your body, which is autoimmune, if anybody knows, your body does not like you. It fights you. And so I knew that I had this issue. That's why I'm on medication because my body does not like me. But I did not know for sure. Like I said, me and the girl had a talk, said, well, it could be that. And that's what he said it was. He said, but since you're pretty sure that it's the sunflower oil and the soybean oil, I would test them. If they come back positive, I will give you an EpiPen. If not, put those foods back into your diet. For a week, I was about to lose my mind. When is those results coming back? I want to know. I want to know. And I got them back. Baby, I'm so close. I'm so far from being allergic. You know how they have the scale? And then a line goes across. My line is all the way up at the beginning. It hasn't even started coming down. So I am nowhere near allergic to any of them. So he just told me, take your allergy medicine. He said, when do you take it? Only when you need it, right? I was like, yep, only when I itch. Only when I get a hive. He said, nope, take it every single day. I said, but those things are not safe. He said, a lot of them are not. He said, but the ones you take are safe. He said, take them every single day. I have not, I think, well, no, that was from something else. I'm, I, I'm doing okay. So I'm not allergic to these things. So now I can eat some of the things that I had kicked out of my diet. But so you got to go check on these things because I was for sure. for sure. I'm like, no. But when I sit down and eat sunflower seeds, I would itch. And so I even tested myself. I was like, okay, was that sunflower seeds or not? So I waited till the next day. I said, and I ate sunflower seeds again. And I itched again. He said, it's not food. So that I'm happy about that. I'm not happy that my body does not like me. Who don't like me? I'm very disappointed in my body. Okay, so I just got my heritage castor oil today. Baby, I just ordered two more. It's on sale. I just ordered another 16 ounce and another 32 ounce. If you all don't know about the castor oil story, I did that in a live. It helped me through things because I told you, I like to test things. I am that person that I am going to test things. And I did. And I was just kind of being silly with some of it. Just, hopeful, wishful thinking. I have a swollen leg that has been swollen for, they pretty much told me deal with it. Put on a stocking. One of those suppression, what's the name of? Compression stockings. I'm like, for the rest of my life? She was like, just nonchalant. It took down that swollen leg. I told the story before, but I do have some new people, so I'm going to tell it again. I was getting ready to do something in the kitchen, and I was like, ooh, these allergies. Oh, my head hurts so bad. I couldn't hardly see out the eye. I'm like, I have to come back when I feel better. So I went in the next room, and I sit there, and I told you, castor oil sits right next to me. So I looked over at the castor oil. I said, could you by any chance help with these allergies? I kept looking at that bottle, honey. I poured it in my hand. I massaged my temples. I went across my forehead. I hit all the little pressure points. All the little pressure points. I didn't even get comfortable because I said, I'm going to go sit down until I feel better. I immediately got up and went to do what I was getting ready to do because the pain was gone. A bull crap you not. I was outdone. I was on the phone. Girl, you won't believe it. Every time I use it for something, I would tell them, like, you know what? I think I'm going to try this on such and such. It worked. That castor oil, baby, is a miracle worker. And don't use it and say, well, it didn't work for me. I had to use that for, I don't know if it was 30 days. I think I used it the first 30 days is when I started, which was the leg, because that was a lot of swelling that had to go down. And then I put it on my stomach every night. I told that story. I was only because I heard about the liver packs. So I was only putting it on my liver, right? Then I put the heating pad on it. And so one day I walked into the bathroom and I looked down. I was like, wait a minute. Why is my stomach lopsided? I said, this side is flatter and this side is bigger. I said, wait a minute. I said, I know that castor oil did not shrink my stomach. I said, well, I'm just going to start putting it on the whole stomach, baby, before this GI issue kicked in. That's why I was really ticked off, baby, because my stomach was going down to a nice little flat stomach from that castor oil until whatever happened with this GI issue. But, baby, my stomach went down. So I used this over a course of a month. Every single night, I told you I had a dark color sheet that I would have so it wouldn't get on everything else. But I did not care, baby. I was rubbing that thing on everything. And I know you cannot, that's castor oil, just like anything else, you can't abuse it. It did not come back to haunt me, but I've heard it has made people sick who taken it every single day. I did for about a month. Then I slacked off. Then I started doing it every once in a while because I knew what to use. I know now it's going to help my sinus and pressure in my face. I know now that it's going to, sometime when my GI is upset. And that's another thing I was doing. I was drinking those teas and I was rubbing that castor oil on my stomach. And I had to do all this because a doctor would not see me. Okay. So, yes, that castor oil, do not give up on it. Don't just use it a few times and say it did not work for me. Honey, I'm talking knees. I'm talking where joint pain. This castor oil works. Now, I see a lot of reviews from a lot of different castor oils, but I don't know about all of them. The only one I've ever used is the Heritage Store. So that's the one I use. That's the one I've been using. But I see other people are doing their reviews and they are also using one. I just suggest you make sure it's a dark amber glass bottle, 100% organic, hexane free. Okay. I see some people have them in clear bottles. That light that's really not good coming through that bottle. But I'm just letting you know, don't just, if you got it or if you're getting it, don't try to say this stuff don't work. Because what if I had given up? I would have never known that this leg that the doctors told me that I had to live with for the rest of my life would stay swollen. Okay. I would have never known. I'm just being silly. I'm like, could this possibly get rid of my sinus pressure? And it did. Okay. So I am that person that tested on things because I want to know, because this is my body and I don't want to be taking medication all my life. And if it's natural, I want to know about it and I'm going to test it. Okay. So, Mike, I believe I spoke to you. If not, hello, welcome in. Um, you want to I made fire cider. That's where a lot of my herbs went. I made the fire cider, but then I would still add other, I made it the way you supposed to make it, but I'm extra. It is what it is. But yeah, fire cider is good. Um, can you do a video on how to check blood pressure? You mean with a blood pressure machine? Because that's what I take it with. Yes, I can. Boy Brownie, I believe I said how about not. Hello, welcome in. Um, oh, I didn't think of that for growing pains. I'm a researcher by you. Okay, what did she say about for growing pains? But I'm grown. She must have used, oh, finna use it on my son's knees for growing pain. Oh, yeah. And don't stop. Don't let him say, Mama, this not working. Keep rubbing it on there because it does not work overnight. It's not a miracle cure, but it will help you down the line. Love some habit. Yeah, I know. Lady Dagger status. I was so disappointed. And you know what? What I really need to do is drink the tea by itself because it was in a batch tea. So I just assume this is how I determine because I always drink this. And then one day I decided to add hibiscus and then I itched. So I'm like, okay, I'm allergic to that. And then when I put the elderberry in it, I itched. So I'm like, okay, I can't do that. So I probably do need to test them out individually because I would really like to add them in now that that still don't have anything to do with allergies. He don't think it was food allergies, but if they have something to do with ragweed or whatever, then those things probably would bother me. Um, yeah, Farsight is very easy to make. And make enough for the whole family, honey. Keep everybody well. But they say I got mine and using on my bad knees. Yes. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Welcome in. Trying to see if anybody have any questions. Duval, welcome in. Thank you for coming. David Corey, welcome in. Thank you for coming. If anybody want to come up, if you have a question, if you want to address something, I will drop the link. I dropped it twice, but I know it's long gone by now. But if you have anything you want to add, because we all here to learn about herbs, honey. Okay, and another thing I want to talk about is the short that I did the other day about that. I have to look at the word before I can try to pronounce it. I think it's galango. If anybody know anything about the galango, well, my neighbor, she is just like a plain vegetable person. She don't eat anything outside of what we was raised on back in the day. So she brings me all the bok choys and just stuff that she just don't know nothing about. And so she had sent me this picture one day and she said, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's not ginger, it's not turmeric. It looks like both of them." I said, "But it's not." So I have no idea. So next thing I know, next day she brought it to me. And so I started researching it, and the closest thing that came to me was galango. And so I didn't know what to do with this thing because it's hard as a rock. You can literally put a hole in the wall if you just threw it. And then the inside was even hard. So I'm like, so how do you use this? So of course I had to research it because we're not throwing no medicine away, right? And oh my goodness. So that's why I put it in the dirt because it looked like it had some little roots trying to come out. I'm like, okay, so we're going to test this together and see because I found out this was good for protecting the liver, strengthening the immune system, fights allergies, manages digestive issues. It acts as an antimicrobial, an antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory. It enhances the immunity, protects the liver, fights allergic reactions, anti-cancer. It may act as an antiplatelet agent, which is to prevent blood clots. It eases digestion, stomach issues. It helps bacterial infections, which is what I was going through, which I knew that's what was going on because that's one of the diseases I have is the bacterial in the small intestine. So I knew that's what it was. All I needed was somebody to give me some medication. I knew what it was, but like I said, I suffered with it for so long. I started to even think it was something worse, and that's why I started getting all the cancer tests because I'm like, well, usually when I take medicine, even though I knew that I did have to have the right medication. You just cannot take any medication for SIBO, which is SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which means I have too much one hydrogen oxide. I have 3 times the amount in my body than I'm supposed to have. So that's why I get it. It's like a gas in my intestine. Excuse me. Okay, I see you, Lady Dagger status. I'm getting ready to get this for you. Take a screenshot. So yes, I'm hoping that this grows. So I even printed out, and I think I don't remember offhand, but I think it says you boil it, you peel it, or I will find out. But I already was convinced from all of these And it still says it has been found to have a potential anti-cancer effects in laboratory studies. It's an antifungal. It reduces nausea and vomiting in pregnant women. And it's also say it's generally safe, but high doses could cause upset stomach. So, yes, that's it. So if you want to research that as well. Hi, Andale. Thank you for coming. Miss T, thank you for coming. Welcome in. So the recap for those who are just coming in, we talked about kitchen herbs. Researcher kitchen herbs helps with Crohn's and IBS. Yeah, helps with GI issues. Uh, be an advocate for yourself. You know, when you know something is wrong with you, even if you don't know exactly what it is. I knew exactly what was wrong with me. You know, don't let the doctors just shove you away and say it's. And a lot of times they say, don't let anything be wrong with your stomach, honey, because the first thing they're gonna say is you have a bug. That is the first thing that come out of their mouth. That's why so many people go home and then next day. But anyway, be an advocate for yourself. Take care of your bodies. Grow your vegetables. Grow what's healthy for you. Research. If you're on medication, research to make sure. If you don't trust what you're researching, call a pharmacist. I've never had a problem with a pharmacist, when I called and asked them, can you mix this with this, or any of that. I've never had a pharmacist that had a problem with it. So if you want to know some of these things about medications that you on, then ask. But grow your medicine, because this list, and I actually had a conversation with one of my physicians. I said, what is up with all of these medicines not being here? She's like, yeah. I said, so what happens when our medicines, do you have backups? Do you have a something else? She's like, yeah, we do. But I'm like, honey, mm-mm. We all want to get off this medication. And it's my goal to keep trying. But like I said, I'm not stupid enough to just try something without consulting a pharmacist, because sometimes the pharmacists know, because you don't ever hear them say, ask your doctor. You always hear them say, ask your pharmacist. But I think that's it. Hi, Country Hustle 101. I think I covered everything. If not, I did talk about, and it's a lot. And one of these things is good for arthritis too. Is it the galango? Like I said, I don't know how to pronounce it, because that is the first time I had ever heard of that. So I don't know much about it. So I will be doing more research, because if that joker grows, I'm going to need all the information possible on that, because then we're going to have to learn how to put it away and have it jarred up for medicine. I don't know. Maybe it was the berberine. I don't know, but a lot of these things helps with joint pain, because who don't have joint pain? We have young folks that have joint pain. So I would always try to find something for joint pain. And there are a lot of herbs out there that helps with it. But if no one has any questions, but check out everything. I mean, all of them. Your parsley, your cilantro, your rosemaries, all of your and you know basil helps with lower blood pressure for sure. I even had my friend drinking a cup of basil first thing in the morning before she even get into anything else. Nothing is helping. I'm convinced it's the other medications. But these things helped me. If you missed that part, it was in the beginning. While I was sick, I was treating myself with herbs. And I'm also testing myself with this, which is the yellow yellow root, aka golden seal, aka berberine, aka this long word I cannot. So if you want to research that as well, this you make a tea out of. I bought 2 bundles. This is one bundle. I have the other bundle, and this is vacuum sealed. I have another one in Mylar bags, and then I just kept some out that I'm going to be drinking. But I just removed this. When you break it up, it's just like a tree branch. It's just like trying to break up a tree branch, and I just pull the bark off and make a tea. It has a plethora. I mean, my doctor even told me that because when he said, "Well, I want you to try berberine," I said, "Oh, I bought some of that for my." No, I said I have some of that at home. He was like, "You do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I bought it for my mom." I said, "Doesn't it help with diabetes?" He said, "It helps with a lot." So that really piqued my interest. So I came home and was reading article after article after article, and that's when I found out how many things berberine help. So if you want to research that as well, berberine, berberin. That has a lot of health benefits as well. Coming from a doctor himself, which surprised me because that is my first time in history that a doctor ever suggested a herb. And the paperwork that he gave me, it was 3 treatments that they using for people. One of them was oregano. And we know oregano is an antibiotic. That is something else that I was using because what I was using while I was waiting to see doctors, I was using thyme, moringa, the basil, Ceylon cinnamon, rosemary, fennel, and oregano leaf, which was my oreganos from my hydroponics. So, like I said, I would alternate these and I would use it every day just to settle my GI, just so I could have a little bit of relief from all the suffering I was going through. And this helped me. So you cannot tell me, you can never tell me herbs don't work. Okay. And these are kitchen herbs. I'm not telling you to go out there and forward something or find something that we have to pull out a dictionary to understand what the meanings are. These are kitchen herbs and they work. Okay. So I'm going to get out of here because um what time does she go on at 9:30? Because the what? Oh, Jesus, the watermelon king, David Corey, my Lord. Disclaimer, my Renaissance isn't a doctor. She's explaining her experience. Do your own research. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm talking about me. So, um, Tampa is coming on at 9:30 Eastern time. Oops, so that means she's already on, isn't she? Okay, so we're going to get out of here. So if you want to go there and check her off, it got you off meds, works as well with no side effects. Awesome, Mike. See, that's what I'm saying. Oh, you use berberine. Oh my God, awesome. Well, like I said, they didn't have the pill. And in the meantime, you know how we are. I was thinking, do they have a seed for that I could drop? And then that's when I ran across these things right here, which they just call bunches. And so, like I said, I had to even ask what to do with it. And he really didn't give me clear instructions, but I made tea out of them. And they do lower your blood pressure because they lowered mine. I take my blood pressure before I consume the tea because I was doing a test, as I'm always doing a test for someone else. But like I said, I'm probably not the best candidate because I don't have high blood pressure. So I have normal blood pressure, but it did lower my blood pressure up to 5 and 6 points. So there you go. So I'm just trying to see if I missed any questions. I'm always learning, absolutely. Thank you for all the information. You're welcome. Okay, you all, I appreciate you all coming in. If you have any questions that I might have overlooked, just gifted, thank you for coming. Oh, I didn't know about the sinus. I'm going to try it because I have, oh, honey, I'm telling you, massage it. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm going to tell you what I did, okay? I'm a side and I have terrible allergies with the pressure and I have sinus, but it was probably allergies. And I'm telling you, I just massaged it and massaged. I went around because it's supposed to be good for your eyes too. And at first I was scared to use it for my eyes because I'm like, I don't want to go blind. You know, they say it's good for your eyes, but now I do it. At night, I do my whole outside of my eye. I don't do anything internal. I put 3 drops in my navel. I rub it, I put it across my stomach. It's kind of getting hot now because I was putting the heating pad on top of that, but it's a little bit hot now. Okay, so I do. But yeah, try it, honey. Rub it, just massage it, and I'm saying now that surprised me. That totally surprised me because I was just saying, what if it works? And it did. So you never know. And like I said, don't give up. Don't just do it once because it did not work. Things have to adjust to your body. And so, all right, you all. I'm gonna roll up out of here. I see somebody named Sonia. I don't know where you are, but I appreciate you coming. Thank you all. God bless. I pray for you. You pray for me. And we'll watch God change things. God bless everybody.